What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Lady Natasha Daniels, and I'm so excited to be doing another episode of the Go With God podcast. I hope that you've been enjoying them thus far. I've been having a wonderful time. I'm just kind of chit chatting with you guys and kind of, bringing you into not only my life, but of course, what God says about different circumstances and what He says about different things. Those who may be hearing for the first time, welcome. As everybody knows who's a part of the Go With God Nation and the Go With God podcast fan club, everything that we talk about, I try to use myself as an example. That way I don't get in trouble about other people, but also at the same time, I'm a real person. I'm not just a personality. I'm not just, somebody in music, or I'm not just an artist. I'm not just a pastor's wife, but I'm an everyday person. And more, I believe that a lot of Christians are trying to find that balance between being an everyday person and being, the call that they have on their life. And the truth of the matter is that the both of them should be one. You should be able to be all of you, at any given time. So I try to use myself in most of my podcasts to just be that example. And as always, if you guys have questions, if you guys have comments, if there are some concerns or whatever, as you guys always know, I always give a shout out at the end of the podcast. But you can always send those inquiries and those requests to Go With God podcast or GWG podcast at yahoo.com. So let's go ahead and get started for today. We always start our podcast also with prayer, because more than anything, this podcast is, of course, about God, and in everything that we do, we want to hear what God says about the situation. So let's go ahead and pray. Dear Father, we bless you and we thank you. Thank you for being so good to us, and thank you for being so kind to us. You're amazing in everything that you do, God, and we're always in awe of how wonderful you are. So for that, Father, we say thank you. We ask that as we go through today's podcast, that you would not only be in the midst, God, but that you would be pleased with everything that we do. We love you and we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. So today's podcast has to do with laughter. From what I hear, you know what I mean? I have a really, really good laugh. As soon as people hear me laugh, it becomes contagious. But the truth of the matter is there have been a lot of times in my life where I haven't always been able to smile. While my smile and while laughing has gotten me out of numerous situations, tough times, and tough seasons, I have not always had the testimony that I've been able to use my laugh or use my smile, use that joy to kind of get me out of some of those circumstances and situations. But I'm definitely excited about the fact that in the most recent months, I've been able to get my laugh back. I've been able to get my joy back. I've been able to get all of that back. And I'm really thankful to God about that. So, our scripture for today that I would definitely like to kind of read, I think we talk about it a little bit, but we just kind of brush over it. One of the scriptures is Proverbs 17. In Proverbs 17, verse 22, it says, "A cheerful heart is a good medicine, but a downcast spirit dries up the bones." And this is the RSV, or the Revised Standard Version of the Bible. And what I think is extremely interesting about this particular text is it shows that there's a direct correlation between the spirit and between the body. It clearly says in verse 22, a cheerful heart is a good medicine, or laughter is good medicine, but a downcast spirit dries up the bones. And if you actually take a look at that word downcast, because I wanted to know what it meant in the RSV, but if you take a look at that, it actually means broken, or it means stricken. And for some of us, the truth of the matter is why you can't smile and why you can't laugh is because your spirit is broken. And I kind of wish, it'd be a little more profound, but the truth of the matter is you can't smile, you can't laugh, your heart can't be cheerful if you are broken, if your spirit is broken. And more specifically, it says afflicted. So I don't know for all of you guys what you're going through, but just be mindful of that. An afflicted spirit doesn't give your heart the opportunity to be merry. It doesn't give your laughter the opportunity to come through your face. It doesn't give you any of those opportunities. So my prayer for you guys today, as you kind of hear about my story and hear about my life, honestly, is that you guys would get your joy back. You guys would get your smile back, but you would get your laugh back. It does something to the body when you're able to actually laugh. It's contagious. that's why even in John, I think it's 3rd John verse 1, it says that, his salutation to the people is, hey, I'm praying that your health or that your health is good, that you would be made well as your spirit is being made well. It's a direct correlation. So for those of you guys who constantly have little frowns on your faces, listen, ask God to heal that broken spirit, that afflicted spirit of pain, disappointment, hurt, whatever it may be, so that you can get your laugh back. Amen. So this is about to be a wildly fun podcast because, drum roll, I've got a special guest on today's podcast. Now, I told you guys I'm not giving you nothing stale. Everything is going to be brand new. Now, this is his first time on my podcast, but I'm actually super duper excited. I don't know what's about to be said. I don't know how it's about to be said, but all I know is that it is going to be amazing. I kind of wish I had a camera so y'all can see what he's doing. He's like stretching and, cracking his neck, and it is about to go down. So listen, I don't know what we're going to talk about exactly today, but I am sure he's going to find a way to either embarrass me or he's going to find a way to just say something off the wall today. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you guys the amazing, the talented, the annoying, irritable, moody, creative, adventurous, courageous, illustrious, my husband, some of y'all's pastor, the one and only Jasper T. Daniels the third. And the crowd goes wild.
I'm going to need a redo for that. You left out some keywords. Sexy. Really annoying, though.
Yeah.
That was the longest introduction that I've ever seen on a podcast.
Hater.
You went through all of that. You went through the scriptures. I'm the whole time you're talking, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what am I doing here? You told me we were talking about, laughter and, the importance of it. And then you just start dropping all these nuggets and revelation. I'm like, do I pull my Bible out? Do I write down some notes? I tell you, well, first of all, I just want to say I'm very godly proud of you. You have been doing such a wonderful job with these podcasts, and it's amazing. I know how long you've been wanting to do that. You've been giving us all these little nuggets on Facebook and teasing us with these little one-liners, but finally we get a chance to finally hear your complete heart. And so I'm mad because, the world gets to hear all the things that I get to hear privately that you kind of spill out in conversation, wisdom nuggets, some that I like, some things that I don't like, to be honest, because, that's not just, Lady T, that's a wife, big boss lady.
Oh, gosh.
So she always has a lot to say. And so I guess this is fitting for her to do a podcast. I always tell her she's not funny. But, she does have some funny jokes. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a good time today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But thank you so much for allowing me to join you with your podcast. It's going to be fun today. I don't know what we're talking about. I'm just here as the guest. I'm surprised she let me come on it, to be honest.
Don't
I'm not
be like
worthy.
that.
So whatever you want, I'm here. I'm supporting you. Yeah. Hey. Add sexy to that list.
I can't add that to the list because I just, I gotta wait for people to actually see you. So, that way they understand why I be trying to keep you hidden and, you're a little eye candy, Y'all should see him, y'all. He got these little braids, and the one little braid is sticking up in the back. And
Oh, we're really doing that. So you should see her with her do-rag on and everything else.
It's not a do-rag, people of God. It is a bonnet. I have flexi rods in my hair. He tried it. I have flexi rods in my hair. Y'all, my hair is growing. The glory is growing. Lift your hands. But I have flexi rods in my hair. Therefore, I put a bonnet on my head.
Okay, and then she's also got this pink thing that I've been trying to get rid of and burn since I've known her. We've been together for 13 years. She's had this pink dress that at least 11 years. I've been trying to get rid of it at
It
least by
hasn't been
year
that
two.
long.
And she just consistently, she comes out the shower. She's like, "Oh, let me put something sexy on for you," and then she puts on
He's a
this.
liar.
She puts on this pink dress. If she's in a mood, she puts on the pink dress. If she's happy, she puts on the pink dress. If she's
You are
wet
so full
and
of it.
bothered, she puts on the wet of this pink dress. So y'all forgive me, y'all, but I may just I may but just burn it. I might just burn the dress. I'm just one day she's gonna come in, it's just gonna be a funeral, we're just gonna burn it, we're gonna cremate the
You are
pink
so
dress
dramatic.
because I'm literally tired of it, to be honest.
He's had enough, guys. He's semi storytelling, but I can say any female knows that there are sometimes you have these one or two outfits that are just they're just nostalgic in every way. You can't get rid of them. They're very comfortable, and I've probably had this dress probably for about 10 years. I can be honest and say that. But listen, really quickly before we finish, today is a very, 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 very special day. Not just do I have my husband on with us today, Jasper, but listen, y'all, today is his birthday. My husband just turned 33 years old, and he is old, y'all. I mean, he thinks he's living his best life. I mean, he went from short neckties to wearing just about Tim's, guys. Like, he's living his best life. But listen, I wanted to definitely make sure that he was on today for his birthday. This is his opportunity to ask me, tell me, say whatever he wants and get away with it. But also, this is the first time in a long time Jasper and I have really been in a place where we're laughing and we're smiling. And so I'm sure he's going to talk a little bit about that, or he's going to be asking me some questions about all types of things. But more than anything, not only am I doing my podcast with him, but this is the first time that we're doing something together and we're actually laughing about it. We do ministry. He preaches, I do praise and worship and stuff like that. We support each other, but this is one of the highlight moments for me, of our 13 years together. So not only is it, a great day for me, but it's his birthday, and I totally plan on celebrating my king all day long. So I love you guys. I'm going to turn it back over to him so that way he can go ahead and do his thing.
All day long. This is my birthday weekend. I'm in need at least the rest of the month. This is my 33 year. I am 33.
I'll see what I can do.
Yes.
I will
I'm
see
so
what
excited. I didn't even realize it, but I'm officially
You're
33
old,
years
babe.
old. And so I'm so excited to be here on this podcast. She's right. We did have some times. There's been so many things that have happened in our relationship, and everything hasn't been, as sunny as we would like it to be. But I'm really encouraged that we're learning the importance of laughter. We both have the story of getting in trouble in our classrooms when we were kids.
Definitely.
And getting thrown out by the substitute teachers. We had the same exact story. Yep. We were both thrown out of she went to school in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I went to school in Bordentown, New Jersey.
Out there.
Both of them don't have that many black people. But anyway, that's not important. But we both been thrown out of the classroom because we were making too much noise laughing. So sometimes when you go through life, you forget just how important laughter is. But when I was looking at that, Lady T, I was looking at it in the Message Bible. And the Message Bible was pretty cool. It said a cheerful disposition is good for your health. So it's not just like laughing.
That's good.
It's really looking in your situation and finding the joy in it.
That's really good.
And that's really hard sometimes. We're like the woman with the issue of blood who exhausts ourselves with so many different things. She exhausts her money. She exhausts all of her resources and could not get well. And a lot of times when you think about it from a natural standpoint, we exhaust ourselves with all the other emotions in our situations, and we never find the joy and the fear of God in the midst of those situations. So
that's good.
Yeah, when you're in a relationship, yes, you are tested. Because Tasha knows how to push every
oh my gosh
single one of those. But I think you know what it is. I think really, I think that she went to a school, and in that
Oh, here we
school
go with the
of
school
womanhood, they
nonsense.
teach you in that school of womanhood. I talked about this on Facebook maybe maybe a month ago when she made a post. But there is a school of the woman, and they teach you how to
And of
push
the
these
man,
buttons.
evidently.
And she knows how to she I didn't even know these buttons existed until I met her. So she knows exactly where to put push these buttons, and knows how, and she
Ignore him,
pushes
people.
them with
Ignore him.
precision, and she knows how to just she's just so precise with it. And maybe she could teach, and this isn't the podcast to do that, but maybe one day she can show me or educate the men on these buttons, so we can learn to avoid these buttons, or maybe maybe use them against you. I don't know. I don't know. Can you teach us?
No.
Can you? I don't know. Is that possible?
It is absolutely not possible, because if that were the case, then you're going to have to teach us all of the things that you've learned to avoid in relationships, circumstances, and all other types of situations in your school, gentlemen. Because I promise you, I have never met so many of the opposing species who can do things like cough, cough, here we go, ladies, take out the trash, but don't dump none of the trash or put the bags in it. I don't know how they do it, where they just walk over shirts and socks and shoes that are in the middle of the floor. I don't know how they do it, where they can only do one task at a time, and that may not be done all the way. So, just like we went to our school, they easily had to have gone to their school.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough of that talk. I'm sorry that I brought it up. See, this
Because
is
you
why you
already
don't
know.
bring up
You
stuff, man.
already
You know what
know.
I'm talking about. Because if you're listening, you just keep your mouth silent, just listen, and just nod your head. Because the moment you bring up something, they just know how to go, and then you don't have nothing to back it up with. So I'm gonna let her have that. But she's so good at it. You know what I like about this, Tasha, I like about this broadcast is it's real. There's a lot of conversations out there, and a lot of times you don't get a chance to just be real with things. Yes, we're in relationships, and we have moments where we just can't stand each other, but there's moments like this, like we're like, oh, this is good. And you don't really realize that until you're in these moments. It's the disposition. That's what I really like about the Message Bible. It's a cheerful disposition, and then you have these moments where you can like laugh and you can think about it. And then once you get into that mindset, you start thinking about reminiscing, and wanting to enjoy these moments and wanting these moments to continue. So when I'm thinking about this, I think when we think of a podcast and a spiritual one, it's always just, should we just talk about the Bible? But people have real stuff.
Absolutely.
And the whole idea of this podcast is for people to get to know you
Definitely.
and to know the other sides of you. And so you're more than just that anointed praise and worship that just turns into some wild beast in the Lord.
Oh my
Whether
gosh.
you're singing it like an angel or you're just rebuking devils and casting out them demons, or Tasha used to talk about me laying hands, but there's been many a times I would go upstairs and I would come back downstairs and she's like laying people out.
Jasper
I'm like,
Daniels.
well, how many dimensions are you gonna go to today?
So
So she's
dramatic.
got so many different, and that's the other side. That's part of you, but there's another side of you that we get to introduce. So I know this is your segment and I know this is your day, but I figured we play a little game.
Oh gosh.
All right, so I downloaded this app. I'm always doing stuff,
Always.
and it's most likely to.
Oh my gosh.
So most likely to, and you just read, who's most likely to between the two of us, so that you can get to know, really not really me. I don't really care, but you should really get to know this one, because she's special. She's unique. She likes things in a different way. She's a boss. She's really a boss.
You're funny.
But she's funny sometimes.
Here we go.
I said sometimes. I'll never admit that you're funny. But she does have a contagious laugh. So you want to play the game?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Here's the first one. Most likely to travel alone.
This is totally Jasper. Those who don't know him, no. Those who know him know what they know about what they know about what they don't know. Jasper would travel by himself.
Yes. Okay. I haven't always been like this, because there was a time that I like to be around people, but the older I get, I like being by myself. I enjoy my me time. Come on, there's I know you're listening.
You
Listening.
sound just like a
There's people
preacher
all
right here.
over, all ages, whether you're male or female. Sometimes you just like being by yourself sometimes. And I'm okay with that now. Before I need to be around people all the time. But now I enjoy me time. I will go to the
Oh
restaurant,
gosh,
I will go
Jasper.
to a hotel, I will do it all by myself. But I do like,
You're
intimate
an
time
old
too.
man.
So, yeah. All right. True. All right. You want to read the next one?
Yep, I'll go ahead. So, who's most likely to end a night out? End a night out in handcuffs. So, listen, people, listen. So this is supposed to be a. This is supposed to be, First of all, y'all have not met my husband until you have met my husband. So this question is who's most likely to end a night out in handcuffs? So it's up to him, if he want to share his stories. But as much of a boss as I am, I would never be caught in handcuffs. Jasper, on the other hand, you want to talk to the people or no? We just gonna let that story lie. We going. So these two have been.
Listen, hold on. First of all, this is not mine. This is not my podcast. This is your podcast. So this isn't really for them to get to know me. This is more so that they can get to know you. So we don't need to tell my felon stories. I don't want them to stop coming to church. But maybe when I do my podcast, then they can learn that.
That's completely fine. Yeah, I didn't know how he wanted to spin this, y'all, but yeah. So far, the first two they go to Jasper. So let's see what the next one is. Listen, people. So
This isn't fair. This is
so
great.
what's happening is, y'all, so don't forget, like, Jasper just said he was gonna ask some questions, and no lie, every single question, it's not the game is who's most likely to, and remember, he's trying to find stuff about me. Can I tell you, every single question that's coming across here is him. It's not gonna be me, it's gonna be Jasper. So I don't know how, I don't know if we'll ever get one that's most likely to be me, because so far the guest is having a good time.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's an app or something, malfunction or what this is. If she hacked in, because females could do that too. They know
I
how to
did
hack
not
into your
hack
phones
into
and
it. You know I
and
didn't hack into it.
deprogram stuff. And I don't know what it
Storyteller.
is, but all these. Oh my God! Look, these are just all me. Well, I guess I'm not saved at all.
Nope.
Jesus. Okay.
Nope.
Here, this is a good one.
Okay. So I think the question is, who's most likely to have 1 million followers on social media? That is probably something more so geared toward me. Jasper potentially could have that many people on social media. That many people on social media. But knowing him, he don't want to do the work to get that many people on social media.
Oh, you really going?
So I think that would be me. I have to take the crown on that one.
Oh yeah, you're really going. That's okay. So okay, you want to just go there and just say I'm not willing to do the work. We just like I said, I'm not going to say nothing.
Is
I'm
it
going
true?
to let you have your moment.
Okay.
Let you have your time together and do you and do your
Thank you,
podcast.
baby.
I'm not
Appreciate
going to make this about me and defend myself, even though I really want to defend myself right
Go
now,
for it.
saying that I wouldn't work hard for these 1 million followers. But let's just be honest. You a beast. I'm not going to even lie. You say one word, you just lay people out. You say glory, it just everybody just want you. I don't. Let me ask you. This is a side question.
What?
Okay, you're doing leadership chronicles. You're doing marriage chronicles. If you haven't already, you need to follow her on Facebook, Instagram. Do you have a TikTok yet? You need to get a TikTok. But all those different things,
I don't even know
Twitter.
what TikTok is, honestly.
Just a sidebar in the middle of this question: where did the inspiration for all these things come from? Like, where are they coming from? Because you just drop nuggets, and I'm like, that's why you're gonna have 1 million followers, because you have just wisdom. You're only 32. You'll be 33, 6 6. Okay, well, yeah,
Jasper. Will you
6688.
stop
It's
doing
too
that?
close to the devil. But anyway, that
You're
devil's number. But I'm
annoying.
not calling you a devil. I'm just saying it's
Hmm.
close to six
Yes,
six.
you are.
But whatever. But you just dropped so much wisdom for us, and so that's why you're gonna have 1 million followers, because you just it just comes out of you. You don't even think it. It just comes out. What's the inspiration for these?
He's trying to be funny and butter me up, y'all. But yeah, to be honest with you, when it's all said and done, I don't want to or need to be famous for my own life. I choose and I desire to just follow God in everything that I do. Hence, go with God. And I think for me, a lot of my inspiration just really comes from my life. That is even the purpose of the podcast. When things happen, one of the things about me that you guys will learn is I hate to fail. But not only do I hate to fail, I hate to not know. I hate to go into a room and I don't know anything. And so because of that, it pushes me to want to learn, but it also pushes me to listen. Now, my husband will tell you that there are a lot of times where I'm probably not listening. And it's not that I'm not listening, I'm trying to process what was said before. So I'm trying to listen because you don't have to tell me 1,000 times. You may have to tell me once or twice, but once I got it, I got it. So when it comes to the quotes and stuff like that, to be honest with you, there are things that I've learned or there are things that Holy Spirit is challenging me on at that very moment. My passion is leadership. I find so oftentimes that a lot of leaders they want to be leader in title but not in responsibility. And to be honest, most of the followers are failing because of the lack of standard for leaders. So when it comes to that's my heart. My passion though is also my marriage. Jasper and I have been through a lot, and for me, I was somebody who did not want to be married. So when the Lord saw it fit that I be married and I be joined to Jasper, I took it seriously because I take God seriously. But marriage has really become my passion. It was never really my passion, to be honest with you, but it's becoming my passion. And so anything that I post on social media is honestly something that the Lord is either presently challenging me on, or it's something that I've learned and I want to share it with other people because it's essential that you realize that with every title comes responsibility. And if you can never get that grasp, you will never be successful at the title that you carry.
See, she didn't even try it, and she just dropped
Oh my
another
gosh.
nugget. She didn't even try it.
Oh my
With the
gosh.
title comes a level of responsibility.
It's true.
So you just dropped it. Are we gonna do another one? Or are we done with these most likely to?
Yeah, we're done with the most likely twos because they seem to all be about you. So you can keep those. You can keep those. But no. What else did you have?
Um, I didn't have anything else. I'm just coming to join you.
Okay.
I'm just excited to be here with you to see how everything is going with your ministry and everything. This podcast is going to be a blessing to so many people. I think about you know, what you were just talking about. Marriage and leadership. Uh, that's a good question to ask you because as a leader, how do you find the balance to do both?
So great question. Um, I think you have to be intentional about balance. The Bible talks about balance and an unbalanced weight being an abomination to God. In other words, in everything that God does, it is in balance. It's not just in order, but it's in balance. It has a balance to it, and God can always set the balance because He knows the beginning and the end at the same time. So I think that it's imperative that you implement balance into your life. It's not an option, it's a mandate. You must implement balance into your life. There are moments and times though where the scales are off, flat out. You spending more time being a leader than being a wife, and there are more times when you spending more time you know, being a wife or just only being about your marriage that you're not fulfilling other responsibilities that God has called you to. So I don't know if we ever really get it 100% of the time, but the goal is to do our best to make the weight balance. That's also why God says, "In our weakness, though He's made strong," because the perspective that God has is that whatever you're not, I will be. Shalom. Not just peace be with you, not just grace and peace be with you, but be whole. Because when God is in the mix and in the midst of you, you should be whole, you should be balanced, you should be complete, nothing lacking and nothing missing. So to answer your question, Pastor Jay, I have to be intentional about implementing balance. I have to know when to be the boss, and I have to know when to be the wife.
That's wonderful, and that's just that revelation just blew me away because now it makes sense. You know, when you have a balancing beam, that has to have a center, and in that center, the focus wherever it's centered at. If you put it in the center, then it can be balanced correctly. So putting God in the center of what you do is going to lead to a balanced life,
Absolutely.
a balanced marriage,
Absolutely.
a balanced ministry. But as long as it's focused just on one, like ministry, or just focused on the marriage, or just focused on yourself, it cannot be married. But when we start to
Right.
put our focus on God, is that what you're saying? Putting our focus on God
Absolutely.
keeps everything balanced. It's not so I put my focus on God and it keeps the marriage balanced.
Right.
It keeps
Right. Right.
everything balanced. Is
Everything
that what you're
balanced.
saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. God is the center of what we do and why we do it. So he must be, the hierarchy shows that he's the head of our lives, but the truth of the matter is, just like you showed, he's not just the head. He's the horizontal and the horizon and the vertical all at the same time. He has to be number one. We get instruction from him, we get our life from him, we get our guidance from him. So absolutely.
Okay, so that makes sense when we relate it to the disposition of cheerful, that the joy of the Lord is my strength. So I can be strong in the Lord when I put my joy in Him. That's wonderful. Okay, okay, so that's good. So how much more time are we doing this? Because this has really been.
Yeah, we got about 1 minute because we're getting ready to close out. But did you want to go ahead and close us out for today?
Close us out. What do you do? What is the closeout? What do we do for the closeout? Do we do a dance? They can't see our secret handshake.
You guys can't see our secret handshake, so that means that one day we're gonna have to totally, make a visual one so that everybody can see our secret handshake.
All right, I got this. I want you to grab somebody and tell them we walk in the spirit. Oh, this ain't Powerhouse. We're blessed in the city. I can't do that one either. Oh, well, listen, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing, where you are, but you need to tune into these podcasts every week. I'm not telling you that because this is my wife. I'm telling you this because you need this in your life. You need someone to speak real life into your situation, where you are. Sometimes you're going to be good. Sometimes you're going to be off. And you need somebody who can speak to where you are at that moment so that they help you keep your life balanced and cheerful and happy. And I'm telling you, this woman of God is definitely called for this time, and she's going to definitely do that. I'm sure maybe she'll invite me back. I'll have something better to say, but I'm so appreciative that she invited me. I'm going to go with God and enjoy this birthday. That's what I'm going to do. Pray for her that she, you know, does right this birthday, that she does good. I'm sure she's good. She started off good. She took me to one of my favorite restaurants, and I'm really excited about it. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a good time. Listen, if you have any more questions, email us. Okay, please keep in contact with us. It's let me tell you, this is the last thing I'm gonna tell you. Tasha's handwriting, because this is so you can get to know Lady Natasha Daniels. Her handwriting is horrible,
It's not that bad.
and she's trying to write out. Is that a G?
Yes, it's a G.
W G. Okay,
Yes.
so go with God. Is that what that is?
Oh my
GWG
gosh.
podcast
Yes.
at Yahoo. They still have Yahoo. I shouldn't talk because I still got my
Don't
AOL.
talk. Don't talk.
But GWG podcast at
Yes.
yahoo.com. Email your questions. We're going to get back to you, and maybe she'll answer them at the next one. Thank you so much, and we'll see you until next time.
Love you guys, and remember, in all things, make sure that you go with God. Peace out, guys.